So this girl is about to unalive her own mom because mom found her vape pen. Let me explain. Now the girl, her name's Carly, and she's from Mississippi, and she's a good kid. She does well in school. She was apparently student of the year. She's so smart she skipped a grade. But Carly has a problem. She's been dealing with some mental issues, and she's been hearing voices in her head since she was 6. And now that she's 11, the voices have only gotten worse. So, how does she deal with all this? Well, allegedly, she's been herself. And her mom finds out that she's been doing that to herself, and of course, mom freaks out, because who wouldn't? So they put Carly in therapy, and they get her formally diagnosed with major depressive disorder and adjustment disorder. And they get Carly on some meds. So Carly starts taking these meds, but unfortunately, the meds don't seem to be helping. She's still having mental issues. So now what's she gonna do? Well, at some point, Carly gets introduced by some of her friends to a little Zaza. So she starts hitting that Zaza, and it turns out that she really likes how it makes her feel. She's like, damn, this is kinda nice. However, she's still really struggling with the mental illness stuff, and this is the only thing that seems to help. So she starts doing Zaza a lot. I guess she's really into those vape pens. And this goes on for a while. I guess Carly's hitting that Zaza daily. Here's the thing though, she does this so much that her friends start to notice that she's high all the time. And some of them start to get worried, because this isn't like her. So fast forward to around the time Carly is 14 years old. She's still having mental issues, and these problems seem to be getting worse. So they take her off her old meds and they put her on some new, different meds. But still, none of these prescriptions seem to be helping, and the voices in her head continue. Now, here's where things get crazy. One day, she wakes up and she has to go to school. And her mom, who we'll just call Mom drives them both to the school, because Mom's a math teacher at that same school. And so Carly gets to school, and while she's there, she meets up with her friends. And one of her friends is really concerned about all the Zaza Carly's been smoking lately, and about all those burner phones she has. Because apparently Carly has a bunch of burner phones linked to secret social media accounts. I guess she doesn't want her parents knowing she has social media accounts, so she creates them with burner phones, and she'll use them to message boys and stuff she knows her parents don't approve of. Stuff like that. Anyway, so this friend confronts Carly, because I guess he's worried about her. He's like, you're smoking too much Zaza, Carly. And Carly, she gets mad, like he's all up in her business. And they get into a big argument, and it escalates. And Carly ends up cussing the kid out. So that friend, in turn, he gets mad, and he goes and sends an email to Carly's mom, and bro tells her everything. About the stuff Carly's been smoking, about the vape pens, about the burner phone she's got. And mom reads this email and she's like, oh hell no. Vape pens and burner phones? She is not gonna let this slide. So at the end of the school day, boom, mom confronts Carly about the email and about all the things Carly's friend told her. And mom is, of course, super mad. Like, no one knows what was really said between them, but it's safe to assume mom goes off on her. And on the drive home, she's all mad, and Carly's mad too. But she's also panicking, because she knows mom is probably about to search her room and find her shit. So they get home, and mom goes straight to Carly's bedroom, and she starts investigating, tossing the room, going through her stuff, looking for these alleged vape pens and burner phones. And this is where Carly flips, and she gets a terrible idea that's going to affect her life forever. Carly low-key sneaks into her mom's room, and she lifts up the mattress on the bed, and she grabs her parents' pew-pew. And then she creeps back toward her bedroom. And you can see her walking by on their home surveillance system. And you can see here that she's got the pew-pew behind her back. So then Carly goes into her bedroom where mom is. And mom actually just found 4 of her vape pens. So things are about to get tense. But before mom can say anything to her, Carly points the pew-pew right at her face. And she pulls the trigger. Blam! Blam! And mom falls to the floor and Carly fires one more time. Blam! And this unalives mom. But then, it's almost as if she had this planned, because she goes back into the kitchen and she grabs her mom's phone off the counter, and you can see the phone in her hand here. And so she texts her stepdad, who we'll just call stepdad. So she texts stepdad and she pretends as if she's her mom, and she asks him, when are you coming home, honey? And stepdad replies like, just finishing some things up at work. Now Carly wants to know when he's coming home, because when he gets there, she's about to unalive him too. And strangely, after she texts her stepdad, Carly starts singing to her dogs, as if she didn't just murder someone. Weird. Now, I'm not a doctor, but when you look at all this, the hearing voices, the cutting, the sudden murder of her own mom, and then randomly singing to her dogs during all this chaos, I'm thinking Carly was misdiagnosed early on. I think the mental issues she's dealing with extend beyond major depressive disorder and adjustment disorder. And I definitely think that smoking all that Zaza all the time greatly exacerbated whatever mental issues she's dealing with. But that's just my opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. But anyway, then, while she's there, waiting on stepdad to get home, she suddenly decides to text a friend of hers. And she's like, come over, it's an emergency. And so sometime later, this friend comes over. And we'll just call her Friend. So Friend comes over and Carly's like, you want to see a dead body? And Friend's like, all right. Then Carly leads her friend to the bedroom and she shows her her unalived mother lying on the floor. And I don't know if the friend freaked out or if the friend is cool with seeing a dead body, but Friend doesn't leave, so I guess she's okay with all this. Instead, Carly tells Friend to wait outside, because when her stepdad gets home, she's gonna unalive him too. So Friend goes outside and chills while Carly sits inside waiting for her stepdad to arrive. And soon enough, stepdad pulls into the driveway and he has no idea anything bad has happened in this house. And so he walks in the front door. And right as he walks in, Carly is waiting there. And she's got that pew-pew. And she points it right at his head. And she pulls the trigger. Blam! Luckily, somehow, stepdad moves out of the way at the last second and Carly misses his head, and the bullet just grazes his shoulder. So then, boom, stepdad lunges toward her and he grabs the pew-pew, and blam, blam, it goes off a few more times, but luckily no one is hit. And so stepdad overpowers Carly and he wrestles the pew-pew out of her hands. And she freaks out and she exits the house and she flees. And you can see her here on security footage running away quickly, and you can see her friend following her here. And so stepdad is injured and he's totally flipping out and he calls 911. And then police get there and he tells them everything that happened, and pretty quickly there's a whole ass manhunt looking for Carly with a police helicopter and everything. But it doesn't last long, cause soon enough they find her not too far away hiding in one of those big drainage pipes. And so bam, they arrest her. Here's her mugshot. Also here is some footage of her detained in the back of the police car. Anyway, Carly goes to trial and she pleads not guilty due to insanity, but the jury doesn't buy it and they find her guilty and she's sentenced to life in prison.